Hi everyone, welcome to the next part of this video series. This is the Johanna Basford Planner and this is the second video. I am thinking about doing some little work with the rocks in the background here. There's an awful lot going on around here, and I think if we do the background first, it might make it a little bit easier for us to see what's going on. So I've got the warm grey, the 85, which we used here and here. And I'm going to use a bit of that and another grey as well. Now, just to let you know what I did here. You know I said to do the background as homework sort of thing. I did that. But I also just went over everything with a second layer, just to make it a little bit darker and neater. That's all I did. But we're going to grab the warm grey. As I said, 85. I'm going to do this one first, the background of here. And what I'm going to do is vary it a little bit so they're not all the same colour, because we've obviously got a selection of different rocks and things here. We might even do 3 colours. I'm not sure yet. I'll have a look in a minute at the different variation that we've got between the different greys. Just wondering if my clock's right in here, because it was saying it was 3 o'clock. I went next door and it was 3:45, so I don't know what was going on. But it seems to be ticking and the hands are moving. It might be that the battery's going a bit flat and it's getting itself in a muddle. But we'll see in a bit. Right, there's that bit. Just try and make it as neat as I can, really, so I don't have to do a second layer. Now I'm going to look for another grey. We still want a sort of brownish grey. We don't really have another brownish grey. Maybe I'll just go for the 80, I think, light grey. And there it is. 80. And do this one. Obviously we've got greenery, well, seaweed, which I think I might stick with the greens to do. But we can fit all these little bits in between. And hopefully, it's always a bit tricky. My miss bits, it's hard to see, but do the best I can. I can always tidy it up between videos like I did before. I don't usually do that, by the way, but I was just feeling that it just looked a bit too messy, and that's why I said to you I was going to do it. Now I'm also wondering whether to do a little bit of shadow between like these different stones and things, but I haven't decided yet. So there's our other shade of grey. Just moving my head a bit, the light shining off that edge, I can't see. There we go. And I'm thinking maybe even a different one here. Let's use this one. This is just called grey, it's number 8. And we'll do that in here. This one's a bit more purpley, I always think. It's only a little section there. Now we've got quite a big section here. I think I'm going to use the warm grey, because it's not going to be, it's only there where it's next to it. Now I would be tempted to do the bottom a little darker and make it lighter as we go up, but I think that's just going to overcomplicate it. I'm just going to sharpen to get around these little bits of plant. I'm just going to leave and do it fairly evenly. It doesn't, and I remember we're colouring a rock, so it's not always going to be a completely even colour. So if you get it a little bit uneven, it doesn't matter. I think it's unimportant. I mean, for me, I want it to look reasonably neat, but only reasonably, you know. It's fine to make it, if it's messy, it's messy. Now, I thought we were underwater. We have fish up here. They're slightly out of shot. Oh, here, look. But there's a candle. I'm a bit confused. I'm not going to go around. I'm going to leave that room with the candle, and I shall do that in yellow or something. So obviously it's a very special sort of candle that can stay alight underwater. I guess it could be a very well sealed LED. I'm just trying to work out what that line is there. I think it might be the edge of that stone. I think I'm going to just colour up to there. Yes, it could be a very clever waterproof LED candle. Should we say that's what it is? Yeah, it's certainly not a flame. I'm going to go back down here and do this bit. Certainly not underwater anyway. I possibly should have given you this bit as homework because it's going to take a little while, but we're doing it now. We'll soon get there. So it's the 2nd of January. Some of you might be heading back to work after Christmas break. I hope you've all had a good break, relaxing time, that sort of thing. It's always a nice opportunity to have family home and see family and things like that. I always like that. Eat some indulgent food that we wouldn't normally eat, and generally just lounge about a bit, doing very little. This one up here, I think I'm going to do in the light colour, the 80. It actually starts, I think, here and here. Again, we've got the 80 over there. Maybe I should swap them over. Too late now. Anyways, yeah, we're hoping to have a few more family get-togethers, but we'll have to see. But also a bit more lounging around, doing very little. That's always nice. Maybe not everyone's cup of tea, actually, to be honest. I mean, when I say lounging around doing very little, you know, today I did some tidying up with the others' help, some ironing. You know, wasn't really completely lounging about, but in a slow, relaxed manner, you know, which is good. Always nice not to have to rush and think you've got 1,000,001 things to do. So that's good, you know, with the boys being home, it means I don't have to think about them going off to uni, getting trains and all that sort of thing, but they do have work to do. One of them's been working today, one of them hasn't. They did send out, but I think it's going to do some tomorrow. Now I'm trying to work out if there's any more here, but I don't think so. I don't think so. So there is that bit. Now I'm thinking, should we do some more of the plants? I quite like that idea. Let's just find my greens. We'll do a different shade. Hang on, I'm just going to grab this one. This is the 53, which is called lime green. And I'm going to start here with this, and then I'm going to do a bit of this as well, I think. So this is just, I'm just going to block this in after I've sharpened it. It's quite neon, this, isn't it? I know Staedtler have a neon range of pencils. I wonder if this is it. If this is the neon green. I had a comment actually left on one of my videos saying something about neon, and once you start using neon you get addicted. Now we have grass there, and of course we've done all our grass the same colour, but I sort of want these two to sort of match. Those two bits are the same, the top bit's the same, it's just this bit here. I think I'm going to do this bit in the neon green, neon lime green. And it's, oh, there's a little bit in there, and then this one as well. Can you see properly? I hope so. And then on the other side there's a bit that's similar-ish. I'll show you in a minute. We'll do that the same colour too. It's a bit samey, isn't it, all these greys and greens, but we're going to sort of pick up the more interesting colours a bit later. There. And so on this side I'm thinking this one. Yeah. That stem's quite narrow, isn't it? That's it. Now, of course, you don't always have to do leaf foliage in green. Obviously, we have all our autumnal colours, which are a big mix, but also you can just steer away from conventional and do something very different if you wish, and that can be quite interesting. I tend to do that more on a page that's a little bit more random. Like this page, if you know, obviously it tells a story. We've got the mermaid's house. She's obviously having someone around for tea, that sort of thing. So we've got something going on. So I wouldn't tend to fiddle with that very much and do something odd, but some pages I would. Right, I'm going to do this one next. I'm thinking I might use the 52 because we haven't used it on here. Then it's going to be the same like that. No, I'm not. Let's not. Let's use the 50. This is our willow green. And I'm going to use it, yeah, here. There's quite a lot of bits of greenery here and there on this page, isn't there? But of course that's what Johanna likes to draw, isn't it? This is really very similar to this one, I feel. Maybe not quite so neon. If I layer it up it gets a little bit darker. And then I'm going to do the grass with it on this side and the sort of pondweed, whatever it is. Canadian pondweed, I remember always buying that to put in our fish tank. It was always very pretty, but the smell, I can smell a dirty fish tank. I always thought it smelled like dirty fish tanks, but I don't think it does unless it's been in a dirty fish tank. That sort of slightly mouldy pebble smell. I don't know how many of you have cleaned out fish tanks in your time. I was quite naughty. I didn't do it that often. My mum used to end up doing it, but she did like the fish too. But it was quite a tricky chore. Okay, because you had to obviously look after the fish while you were doing it. Put them in a bag full of water and sit them, I don't remember what we used to do. I think we just sit them in the sink or something in a bag of water and then clean out their tank and then float their bag of water on the top so that the temperature of the water changed to the tank temperature, and then when you put them in the tank, that's a leaf, isn't it? When you put them in the tank, they wouldn't get a shock from the change in temperature, and would clean all their pebbles off and all the toys and the outside of the glass. It's quite an undertaking. Then cleaning my hamster wasn't much better. Cleaning out all the sawdust and all that. Apparently hamsters don't like having their cages cleaned that often because they used to move everything into a pile, have a little corner where it would sleep and a separate corner where its food was, and a separate corner where it'd hide a bit of food. Right, we are moving to this one. Oops, here. I'm going to do this one in 52 because I haven't used 52 down here, but I'm not going to do one up here in 52. I want the colours to be different. Now this is quite an odd bit, isn't it? I'm just going to colour it all in. think we may have to move to some of the more olivey greens. Just if we want to have a different green, I think it's the only way we're going to achieve it. Yeah. I think I used this one. This is the number 57, which is our olive green. And down here I'm going to do these pieces. The olive. And then we'll do the similar sort of shaped pieces to this on the top areas. I think we'll do this one too. Sort of trying to cluster them together in little groups as if they're a little clump of plants of the same family growing together. So here we've got this one. And as we go up here, we've got these sort of two. They have a stem. Find the stem and colour that in. And the rest, again, it's all plain colouring because of it being so small and detailed. Like that. And the same on the other side. Out of the line she goes. It's because I'm trying to avoid that ring. The edges of my pencil need sharpening to do that narrow bit. That's better. And then over here, same. Now I'm trying to think whether the background for these bits should be water and whether what to do with the background of that bit. I'm thinking maybe I'll do water for these two, but the background for that bit will be more stone because it's got windows in it. So my hand's over the top, you can't see. But there are these windows, so I think there'll be some sort of stone there. And maybe we need to do that. Let's do on the top set of leaves. I'm thinking this colour, this is 55, which is the green earth. I think we'll use that one for these top leaves, and we'll do something at the bottom with it too. It's nice and sharp, this pencil. Do you like a sharp pencil? I know some people really loathe having a sharp pencil. I wonder if some people, if you press hard, then you might break the tip off. So maybe it's something to do with that. But I think most people prefer sharp, but some people just don't. It's nice that we're not all the same. I'm actually colouring a completely different picture at my desk next door for myself. I've gone into my witch's cottage and I'm colouring one from there. I don't think I usually do one every month from there, and I don't think I didn't do very much Hannah Carlson drawing December because it's not, she's got some wintry Christmassy pictures but not in every book. Okay, let's do the same with this side. So I tended to pick other books. In her seasons she does. I did one picture from there. But I'm doing, as I said, I'm doing my next Witch's Cottage one at the minute. And it's got a face, so I'm working on the skin tone, following a tutorial from Helen Elliston's first book. And she's actually working on a 5th book in her colouring series, which is very exciting. I shall definitely be getting a copy of that and doing a little flip through for you so that you can see if you like it. I find that in her books there are things that I never would use, but they're quite nice to dig back into and have a look at from time to time, because there are really good things to learn. Right, there's those. Now in here, I think I might do these larger leaves with this colour. And then we would have done sort of almost all the greenery, I think. There's some obviously little ones down here. I'm not sure if there's any more though apart from those. So just get this done. I'm trying to decide what colour to do that other bit. I might do it in the light olive because I do have the dark ochre, but I think it's a little bit too brownish. It's not going to look green. It might look good, might not look very pretty. It's a good colour, but I think just not for this purpose. There we go. I'm getting quite hungry. What time is it? Oh, I think my clock's working now. It's 4:10. I'll go and cook soon. Not too soon. My one son, I talked to them about what they wanted. One of them said, well, we've still got some stuffing and gravy left, so he wants some of that with whatever we're cooking. But I'm not sure. I was thinking about doing just a stir fry or something easy. But we'll see. And something with lots of colours of veg. I've got some mushrooms and peppers. And we can throw in some carrots and things. Should be good. Yeah, let's do these other bits in this light olive 56. Oh, needs a sharpen. And then I'm going to set you some homework again. This page, because there's so much to do. So that's all those little grassy bits. I'm just checking if there's any more. I think that's it. Right, now homework time. Now, and it's just come out a little bit, I'll show you. The background of this is going to be the homework, and I think it needs to be in this colour here, number 8, the grey. Okay, so the whole of the background all around here in grey, quite light because it's quite a dark purpley colour. Keep it fairly light, but just don't worry about all the other details. We'll do those in other greys, but I'll do that with you. It's just the background. I'm wondering about these two as well. The colour of background here. I'd like that to be in the pastel blue. I'm thinking, would it be better in the turquoise? Pastel blue. 302 pastel blue for the background of these two. Okay, so there's two bits, there's background to do there and here. Okay, and then we can start picking out some of the fun details to do. We have still, it's quite early still. I think we could do a few details today. Not going to do the background though. It's a little bit, I think you can do that. So let's do the windows. Oh, we're a bit wonky, hang on. There we go. Now I'm thinking I would like to do the windowsills in 85. So I can do that with you. Now I think this bit on the top might just be a bit darker, and I'm going to do all these stonework in the same colour as well. Now we've got those shells. I'm going to leave those for now until I've done the background, and then I shall have to decide what colour to do those. All the stones in this same colour. Like that. And exactly the same on the other one. Say, I want it a little bit dark on the top of that windowsill. I don't know why. And then all the stones. Now, it's a little bit confusing, this room, because we're looking through, we can see that there's a window that we can look through. But what are we looking at? Because we've got fish and things in here, so we're still under the sea. Is it a building under the sea and we're looking out into the sea? I'm not entirely sure. There we go. Now, my glass I want to do with number 80. Okay, and what I'm going to do is just colour a bit in the direction of those lines, but not all of it. So it looks like it's reflecting light. I think that was what we're supposed to be thinking anyway from the way it's drawn, but if we put a bit more on, then it just emphasises that a little bit more. Now the bar, the sort of frame, I want to do in quite a dark colour. Now I had thought of doing it in black, but I think the dove grey will probably work rather than black. I think black's a little bit dark. So this is 83. It's nothing like as dark as black. It's quite a light colour actually, but I want to layer it down quite a bit so it looks darker than the grey that's in there. But I think if I'd done it black, it would have really stood out. And this, I don't necessarily want this to be my focal point in the picture, the window. You know, it is pretty, it's drawn in a really lovely way, but you know, I feel that this sort of tea set is where our eyes should be drawn. So that's, I've got to think of some way of doing that, making it a nice bright colour that's going to stand out. I'm also not sure what colour to do all these shells, because we've got the shells here, we've also got our shell light, so we've got to think about colouring all that in as well. But we'll get there. And down the middle and around the side. Just trying to make sure it's reasonably neat. I tend to find when I look at it under a different light, I can see all the bits that I've missed. Okay. Now, how are we doing? I think I might make that do, because there's quite a lot of homework to do with the, now the pale, it is a pastel blue, I want it to look quite pale. This one, however, is our grey, number 8. I don't want it really dark, but it can be, you know, reasonably dark. So we're going to, so that's, so remember number 8 on this background, and then the 302, the blue, on these two. So I'm going to go and do that myself and take a photograph for you. And yeah, that's me. And go and cook some tea because I'm hungry. But thank you for watching. I hope you have a super day and happy colouring.